Good evening, my friends, and welcome to a brand new episode of Terror Radio Podcast. If this is your first time joining me, then welcome. This is a podcast dedicated in bringing you the best of horror and thriller, old-time radio broadcasts, as well as original stories. I'm your host, Keith, aka the Radio Show Nerd, and tonight's episode is entitled The Perfect Family. Now, when you hear both of these stories, you'll truly understand that this title is a pure example of hyperbole, as well as Keith's sarcastic wit. So, without further ado, this is Terror Radio. The two radio series highlighted tonight are the short-lived science fiction anthology series, Dimension X, which later became X-1, and Price of Fear. Our first radio play is called The Veldt, and this is an adaptation from a short story by Ray Bradbury and was first broadcasted on Dimension X, August 9th, 1951. Following that is the radio play Guy Fawkes Day, and this was first broadcasted on November 17th, 1973 on Price of Fear. Now, you all know the drill. Sit back, turn down the lights, and listen to The Veldt, followed by Guy Fawkes Day.
Adventures in time and space, told in future tense. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Street and Smith, publishers of astounding science fiction, bring you Dimension X. The soundproofed Happy Life home had cost $30,000 installed. It clothed and fed and rocked them to sleep and played and sang and was good to them. Their life purred on from day to day, measured and controlled by the nucleonic thermostats, the iridium sponge servo brains that made the beds and washed down the bathroom floors and made sure the salt cellars flowed freely without clogging. Twice a day, the house paused, rang a quiet bell, and turned precisely 90 degrees on its axis in order that the view from the Solaroid living room windows might be varied to avoid ennui. Of course, the pride of the house was the nursery. The agent for the company had been most enthusiastic.
This way, right down the hall. All right.
What was that?
Oh, it's all automatic. The nursery turns itself on when you come within 10 feet of it. Soft automaticity. That's the motto of the company. All right, now, this is the nursery. 40 feet by 40 feet and 30 feet high. Separate power units with automatic overload circuit breakers, inspected and approved by the underwriter's laboratory. The nursery is educational, instructive, entertaining, and therapeutic. The entire control mechanism is adjusted to the electroencephalographic key of the child.
How much does it cost?
30,000 FOB, Los Angeles.
But that's as much as the whole house.
Why, no. But we do want the best for our children, don't we?
Oh, yes, we want the best for our children.
And it was the best. The crystalline walls wavered from 2 to 3 dimensions. The pseudo-textured composition flooring shifted lightly from brick to dirt to waving grass. And the odorophonics wafted the scent of fantasy through the hermetically conditioned and filtered air. The nursery was the very best. But then they wanted the very best for the children. The technicians installed the nursery, and the heavy coaxial power cable was run in from the main line. The walls sprang to life, and the mental control banks and relays hummed.
All right, Peter and Wendy.
this is your nursery.
What's so special about a nursery, Dad?
Plenty. You just go in and see.
Oh, do we have to? It's so big. You promised you'd play ball with me outside, Pop.
Go on, kids. Try out the nursery. It's better than any old yard.
Oh. Go on in, dear. You'll be surprised.
Gee.
Go ahead, Wendy.
I'm scared. I'm not. Hey, it's nice in here. It is? Come on in, Wendy. Boy, look at the pictures on those walls. They're real.
Well, almost real.
You can change them any way you like just by thinking about it.
Go on in, dear.
Well, all right, Mommy. Hey, Wendy, look what I can do with the pictures. That's the white rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. Sure. I just thought about it, and there it was. Well, let me try, Peter. Let me try. Go ahead. Just think. How about the... Oh, I know. I want to see the Wizard of Oz.
Well, dear, there we are.
They like it, don't they?
Well, why shouldn't they? All they have to do is think, and they've got whatever they want in 3 dimensions. Color, sound, and smell. Oh, think what it would have been like to have a nursery like that when you were a kid.
It's nice that we can give them all the advantages.
Why, sure. What else are we working for, huh?
That's right.
Well, what do you want to do this evening?
Well, the Petersons asked us over for bridge, but...
Oh, we don't have to worry about the kids. They'll be all right in the nursery. Come on, Lydia. We deserve a night out.
And in the nursery, the walls were a kaleidoscope of time and space and imagination. The green forest of Sherwood and quiet forms of Robin and his merry men gave way to the roll of the high seas and the smell of salt in the air as Sir Henry Morgan sailed into the harbor at Jamaica.
It's my turn now, Peter. You've got to be fair. It's my turn.
Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz followed the yellow brick road round the nursery walls. Then Hansel and Gretel discovered the gingerbread house about 3 feet from the door. And from a high tower that stretched into the clouds, the little lame prince sailed out over his kingdom. And behind the crystal and quartz walls, the vacuum tubes and grids and banks of mental image tape spun quietly and efficiently, erasing the line between illusion and reality. Of course, the electric bill from Consolidated Utilities was tremendous, but it was worth it. The house went on. The stove hummed happily in the kitchen, making breakfast, dinner, and supper for 4, turning the eggs over lightly and producing popovers electronically calculated by capacity to a 30-volt current and specific gravity. The automatic laundry did the shirts with a medium starch in the collars, except the button-down Oxfords, which had no starch at all. The Happy Life home breathed contentedly as life proceeded with soft automaticity as guaranteed in the brochure and bill of sale.
George.
Huh?
George, I wish you'd look at the nursery.
Well, what's wrong with this?
Well, I don't know.
Well, that might...
I just want you to look at it, that's all. Or call a psychologist to look at it.
What would a psychologist want with a nursery?
Oh, now, George, you know very well what he'd want.
I was in the nursery last week. It's perfectly all right.
Well, it's different now.
Huh? What do you mean, different?
Well, I just want you to come and see.
Are the kids there?
No, Madge Allen took them to a show along with her kids. That's why I want you to look in now before they get back.
All right. What you expect me to do, I don't know. I'm no mechanic.
This isn't a question of a leaky faucet, George.
All right, dear. I'm coming.
The nursery light flicked on as they came down the hall. The relays clicked, and the tubes warmed, and chemical odor banks and pipes bubbled into life as they paused before the closed door.
Go ahead, George. Open it.
On all sides, in 3 dimensions, stretched the hot, tired landscape of an African veldt, reproduced to the last stick and pebble and bit of straw. The ceiling above them became a sky with a hot, yellow sun. A wind blew in from the baked veldtland. The hot straw smell of lion grass. The cool, green smell of the hidden water hole. The great rusty smell of animals. The smell of dust like red paprika on the hot air. And now the sounds. The howl of the jackal in the distance. The thump of distant antelope feet on grassy sod. And the papery rustling of the great vultures that wheeled and circled under the yellow burning sun.
Oh, let's get out of this sun. It's a little too real.
Oh, no, George. You promised you'd look around.
Well, I don't see anything.
Now, wait a minute. Look. There are the vultures.
Filthy creatures.
And there are the lions. Far over that way.
Yes, I see them.
They're on their way to the water hole. They've just eaten.
Eaten?
Yes, I can't see what.
The sun's too strong.
Well, shade your eyes.
Some animal. A zebra or a baby giraffe, maybe.
Can you see it? Are you sure?
It's a little too late to be sure. Nothing over there but clean bone. Vultures dropping for what's left.
George, did you hear that scream?
What scream?
Just now.
Sorry, hon, no.
Here come the lions. George, they're frightening.
Take it easy, Lydia. They're just illusions.
It was a miracle of mechanical efficiency. The lions prowling toward them over the tawny Veldt land. A miracle of inventive genius. Every house should have one. The lions were 15 feet away. So real, so startlingly real, you could feel the prickling fur on your hand. Your mouth was stuffed with the dusty upholstery smell of their heated pelts. The yellow of them was in your eyes, like the yellow of an exquisite tapestry. The yellows of lions in summer grass. The sound of the matted lion lungs exhaling on the silent noontide. And the smell of meat from the panting, dripping mouths.
George, I'm afraid. They're so real.
They're only an illusion, Lydia, that's all.
Watch out!
Oh, quick, outside.
Oh, George.
Lydia, my poor, sweet Lydia.
George, they almost got her.
No. Take it easy. Calm down.
Yes, but I could feel their breath.
No. Get a hold of yourself, Lydia. They aren't real. Walls, that's all it is. Crystalloid walls.
But they look so real.
Yes, darling. Of course they do. But it's all dimensional color reactionary process and mental tape film behind glass screens. It's all odorophonics and sonics. Now, here, take my handkerchief.
I'm afraid, George. Did you see? Did you feel? It's too real.
No, Lydia.
We've got to tell Wendy and Peter not to read any more on Africa.
Yes, of course, dear.
Do you promise?
Sure.
And lock the nursery for a few days.
Oh, now, wait a minute, dear. Let's keep our sense of proportion.
George, I want you to lock that place up.
Honey, you know how difficult Peter is about that. I punished him last week by locking the nursery for an afternoon, and he threw a tantrum, and Wendy, too. Honey, they live for the nursery.
I tell you, it's got to be locked. That's all there is to it.
Lydia, you need a rest.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I don't have enough to do. I have too much time to think. All I do is set the menu selector dials at the beginning of the week.
But, honey, that's the whole idea. The house is automatic.
I know. But couldn't we turn it off for a couple of weeks? Just a couple of weeks and take a vacation.
You mean that you want to fry eggs for me?
Yes, I do. And darn socks, too. I feel like I don't belong here. The house is wife and mother and maid. How can I compete with the African Veldt? And you, George, you don't know what to do with yourself in the house when you're home. You're drinking too much.
Am I?
You feel useless, too.
Yes, I suppose I do.
George. Those lions can't get out of there, can they?
Oh, of course not, dear. Now, don't think about it anymore.
They ate alone. He sat idly watching the dining room table produce warm dishes of food from its mechanical interior.
You forgot the ketchup. That's better.
It wouldn't hurt to lock the children out of the nursery for a while. It was clear that they'd been spending too much time in Africa. Oh, that sun. He could still feel it on his neck like a hot paw. And the lions, the smell of blood. Remarkable how the nursery caught the telepathic emanations of the children's minds and created a life to fulfill their desires. The children thought zebras, and there were zebras. Sun, death, and death. They were so young. But long before you knew what death was, you were wishing it on someone else. But this, the long, hot African veldt, the awful death in the jaws of a lion, and repeated again and again and again. The children came home dutifully at 8:30.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Pop. Hi, Peter. You want something to eat, Wendy?
No, thanks.
Well, we're just having dessert.
We're full of strawberry ice cream. And hot dogs. We'll just sit and watch.
Sure. Peter, tell us about the nursery.
Nursery?
Yes, all about Africa and everything.
I don't understand.
Your mother and I were just traveling through Africa with rod and reel.
There's no Africa in the nursery.
Oh, come now, Peter. We know better.
I don't remember any Africa. Do you, Wen? Run and see, huh? Sure. I'll be right back.
Wendy, come back here. Wendy.
She'll be right back, Pop.
She doesn't have to. I've seen it. Now, come on.
Sure, Pop. Wendy will tell us, though.
Could they be lying?
We'll see in just a moment. Peter, open the door.
See, Daddy? It's not Africa. It's Florida. Like in the yearling. There go the deer, see? It isn't Africa.
Yes, I see it isn't. Go to bed.
But it isn't 9 o'clock. No, it isn't.
You heard me. Go to bed.
Okay. Night, Mom. Night, Pop. Good night.
Good night, dears. I'll be right in.
Lydia, wait a minute. Here, look at this.
What is it?
This is the corner where the lions were, isn't it?
What's that you picked up?
It's an old wallet of mine. There's a smell of hot grass on it. The smell of a lion. It's wet with saliva. And it's been chewed.
George, those smears of blood.
Come on out. Now, let's go to bed.
So they went to bed. But in the middle of the night, Lydia was still awake, and she knew her husband was awake.
George,
Hmm?
how did your wallet get in the nursery?
I don't know. Wendy must have changed the walls from the African veldt. Honey, I'm going to keep it locked. Maybe it isn't good for the children.
It's supposed to help them work off their neuroses in a harmless way.
I'm starting to wonder.
We've given the children everything they wanted.
My father used to say children are like carpets. They should be stepped on occasionally. We've never lifted a hand. They're spoiled.
And we're spoiled.
I think I'll have Dr. McLean come tomorrow morning and have a look at Africa.
Yes, only it isn't Africa now. It's Florida and the yearling.
I have a feeling it'll be Africa again before then.
George, Wendy and Peter are in their room.
No. They've broken into the nursery.
Those screams. They sounded familiar.
Did they?
Yes, awfully. Oh, George.
Although their automatic somno beds tried very hard, the two adults couldn't be rocked to sleep for another hour. A smell of cats was in the night air. And in the morning, the stove cooked French toast, and the dining room table poured the syrup and melted butter.
Pop,
Yes?
you aren't going to lock up the nursery for good, are you?
That all depends.
On what?
On you and your sister?
We feel that you should have some variety, dear.
If you intersperse this Africa with a little Sweden or China...
I thought we were free to play the way we like.
Well, you are within reasonable bounds.
Well, what's wrong with Africa, Daddy?
Oh, so now you admit you've been thinking up Africa, hmm?
I wouldn't want the nursery locked up ever.
Well, as a matter of fact, we're thinking of turning the whole house off for about a month. Sort of camping out.
You mean I'd have to tie my own shoes instead of having my shoe tire do it? And brush my own teeth and comb my own hair and give myself a bath?
Well, Wendy, it would be fun for a change, don't you think, dear?
No, it'd be awful. I didn't like it when you took out the picture painter last month.
Well, that's because I wanted you to learn to paint by yourself.
I don't want to do anything but look and listen and smell. What else is there to do?
Oh, all right. All right, go play in Africa.
Are you going to shut off the house?
We're considering it.
I don't think you better consider it anymore, Pop.
I won't have any threats from you, son.
Okay, Pop. Come on, Wendy. Let's get back.
After breakfast, Dr. David McLean was announced by the audio knocker. And the dining room table, recognizing him as an old friend, poured an extra cup of coffee, light with 4 lumps.
I saw the nursery last year, George. It looked all right to me. You didn't notice anything unusual?
No. The pattern showed the usual violence, a tendency toward slight paranoia. All children feel persecuted by their parents. Perfectly normal.
I locked the nursery and they broke into it last night. I let them stay so they could form the patterns for you to see. Here it is.
Well, suppose we take a look at it right now.
They entered without knocking and sent the children out. The screams had faded, and the lions were feeding quietly under the trees.
Wish I could see what they're eating. Do you suppose some high-powered binoculars would...
Hardly, no. How long has this been going on?
A little over a month.
It certainly doesn't feel good.
I don't want feelings. I want fact.
George, a psychologist, never saw a fact in his life. He knows about feelings, and this doesn't feel good. My advice to you is to have the whole room torn down and your children brought to me every day for the next year for treatment.
Is it that bad?
I'm afraid so. You know, that's why the nursery was developed originally, to let us examine the patterns left on the wall by a child's mind.
But what is it? What's wrong with Peter and Wendy?
Well, it's hard to say.
I haven't punished them more than average. Oh, I took away a few gadgets. Last week, I locked the nursery to show I meant business.
George, you've let this room replace you and your wife and your children's affections. This room is their real father and mother. And now you come along and want to shut it. You can feel the hatred coming out of that sky. George, turn everything off. The nursery, the automatic kitchen, the whole confounded automatic house. Start now.
But won't the shock be too much for the children?
I don't want them going any deeper. Let's get out of here. I never liked these rooms. Get me nervous.
Those lions look real, don't they? I don't suppose there's any way that...
What?
That they could become real.
Certainly not.
Some flaw in the machinery, tamper.
No. I don't imagine the room will like being turned on. Nothing ever likes to die. Even a room.
I wonder if it hates me for turning it on.
Paranoia is thick today. Hello. Is this your scarf? It's stained. Brown. Say, that's blood.
That's Lydia's. Come on, the main fuse box is out here.
Go ahead. Pull the switch.
Yeah. It's off.
The two children were in hysterics. They screamed and kicked and threw things. They yelled and sobbed and swore and jumped on the furniture, weeping.
It's off and it stays off. The whole house dies as of now. The more I see of the mess we put ourselves in, the more it sickens me. We've been contemplating our electrical, mechanical navels for too long. We need air. Fresh, unfiltered, unconditioned air.
He marched around the house, cutting switches and pulling fuses. The stove was disconnected with a roast lamb in the oven and a flapjack still in the air. The heaters, the shoe shiners, the shoelacers, the body scrubbers and swabbers and massagers. He pulled the plugs and shorted out the controls, one after the other. The house became full of electronic corpses. It was a mechanical cemetery, so silent. None of the humming, hidden energy of the machines waiting to function at the tap of a button. And by the still dining room table, its radionic insides dead and currentless, Peter wailed at the house.
Don't let them do it. Don't let Pop kill everything. I hate you, Pop. I hate you.
Peter, please.
Insults won't get you anywhere.
I wish you were dead.
We were for a long while. Now we're going to start really living.
One more, Daddy. Just one more.
Oh, Wendy,
one more
honey.
minute of the nursery. That's all. Just one more
Oh,
minute.
George. George, it can't hurt, really.
So, all right. Only shut up. 1 minute. And that's the end. Forever.
Gee, thanks, Pop. Thanks.
Then we're going on a vacation. Dr. McLean is coming in a half hour to help us out. Lydia, turn on the nursery.
Now, remember, kids, it'll be just for 1 minute.
Oh, boy. Come on, Wendy. Come on. Oh, thanks, Daddy. Thanks a lot.
Just 1 minute, remember. Oh, where'd I put those suitcases? Lydia!
Don't shout, George. I'm right here.
Oh, did you leave them alone in the nursery?
Well, I've got to get ready, George. Oh, that awful Africa. What can they see in it?
Well, in an hour, we'll be on our way to Iowa. What prompted us to buy a nightmare like that?
Pride, I guess. We had the money and we were foolish.
I guess we'd better get them out of there before they get involved with those beasts again.
Pop! Pop! Pop, come in! Daddy! Mommy!
Come on, quick.
Wendy! Wendy, Peter, what's the matter?
Hurry up. Open the nursery. Wendy. Peter.
Well, they aren't anywhere. Wendy! Peter!
Peter!
Oh.
The door. Open the door. They've locked it from the outside. Peter! Peter, open up! Peter!
Don't let them turn off the nursery!
Now, don't get ridiculous, children. It's time to go.
Wendy! Wendy, open the door, dear!
Let us out. Peter, open the door. Time to go. Open the door.
George! George, the lions!
Peter, do you hear me? Open this door.
They're all around us! George!
Son, do you hear me? Let us out.
George, look out! They're coming!
When Dr. David McLean came a half hour later, he found the two children in the nursery sitting in the center of the open glade, eating a picnic lunch. Beyond them was the water hole in the yellow Veldt land. Above was the hot sun. Dr. McLean saw at a distance the lions fighting and clawing, and then settling down to feed in silence under the shady trees.
Hi, kids. Where are your mom and dad?
Oh, they'll be here directly.
Good. We've got to get going.
He squinted at the lions with his hands up to his eyes. Now they were done feeding. They moved to the water hole to drink. A shadow flickered as the vultures dropped down from the blazing sky to finish what the lions had left.
Dr. McLean. Dr. McLean,
Huh? What?
have a cup of tea?
You've just heard another adventure into the unknown world of the future. The world of...
Dimension X.
How soon we actually build a spaceship to conquer the stars depends upon many factors, not the least of which is a man, the overwhelming desire to create such a ship, and the power to have it done. Next week, we tell the story of such a man as Dimension X brings you Nelson Bond's The Vital Factor.
Dimension X is presented transcribed each week by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Street and Smith, publishers of the magazine Astounding Science Fiction. Today, Dimension X has presented The Veldt, written for radio by Ernest Kenoy from Ray Bradbury's The Illustrated Man. Included in the cast were Leslie Woods and Bill Quinn as the parents, Joan Laser and David Anderson as the children. Your host was Norman Rose. Music by Albert Berman. Dimension X is produced by William Welch and directed by Fred Way.
The Price of Fear. Brought to you by Vincent Price.
Hello there. Are you a whodunit fan? I mean the good old-fashioned kind, with a closed circle of cut-and-dried suspects exuding cut-and-dried clues until the last chapter, when all is revealed and you kick yourself for not having been able to work it all out without the author's help? Whodunits are out of fashion now, I'm told, perhaps because truth is never as cozy or as well-ordered as fiction. I was once in a position where I found I had been in possession of certain facts, the significance of which had for years eluded me. This was just as well, because I was spared the final and horrifying knowledge, which was itself a killer. For at first, you see, I wasn't even aware that there had been a crime. Let me explain. Oh, by the way, I think I'll call this story Guy Fawkes Night. It was all brought back to me last November when I was in London by one of those impossible coincidences that sometimes happen.
Papers? Evening papers? Get your papers here.
Penny for the guy, mister.
I had strolled out in the early evening to get some air and to buy a paper.
Please, Gup, spare a penny for the old guy.
When I was accosted by this little fellow, one of a band of sturdy urchins who proliferate in the London streets in the weeks immediately preceding November 5th. Only the English would make an annual festival out of an attempted massacre of their temporal rulers. Perhaps it comes from a misplaced assumption of invincibility. But for me, its horrific associations are rather more immediate. I gave the boy a small donation.
Oh, thanks, mister.
And bought a paper.
3 pence. Thank you, sir.
I glanced at it casually, meaning to read it at my leisure later. But my eye was caught by a headline. Sir David Thomas found dead. Sir David Thomas, 37, a distinguished psychiatrist and specialist in nervous diseases, was found dead in his Harley Street consulting rooms early today. He had suffered from earlier heart tremors, and the rest of the article consisted of an obit on his fine list of achievements in the field of psychiatric research. I remembered the last time but one that I had seen David Thomas. It was in 1960.
There's a Mr. David Thomas to see you, sir.
David? I don't know anyone called David Thomas. Ask him what he wants.
Just a moment, sir.
I was tired and irritable. My plane to London had been delayed by fog, and I was due on the set at some godforsaken hour the next morning. I just wanted to get to bed.
Are you still there, sir?
Yes?
He says you knew his mother, sir. The lady's name was Helen.
Helen? Helen Thomas. Oh, yes. Well, you'd better send him up.
Right away, sir.
Surprisingly, I recognized my visitor the moment he walked in. I say surprisingly because the last time I had seen David, It was at his home, Rykot. He'd been all of 14.
It was good of you to see me, sir. I'm sorry to barge in like this. Damn cheap without writing and all that. But I don't know who else to turn to.
Well, sit down, David. Has been a long time.
Another world, sir. Rykot Manor.
Rykot Manor, yes. How's your mother?
It's because of her that I'm here. She's not well, sir.
Oh, I am sorry, David. Very sorry.
You see, she once told me that you and she had been, well, close.
Well, that was a long time ago, David. As you say, another world. What's wrong?
She hasn't been really well since the night of that Guy Fawkes party at Rykot. Do you remember it?
Yes, of course.
She had some shock. We never discovered what it was. She wouldn't or couldn't talk about it. Most of the time she's quite rational, but she has violent periods. She has to be protected. You understand me, sir? She lives quietly at Panton Sanatorium.
But can't she be cured?
The doctors and nurses are very kind, but it seems her mind has gone.
Oh, no. Oh.
At first I couldn't accept it either. Mother had been such a gentle person. I resented a God who could let such things happen. Even her doctors didn't seem able to help her. So I made up my mind to become a doctor and try to beat them at their own game. I take my finals next year. Then I hope to specialize.
Well, of course, I wish you all the luck in the world, David. That goes without saying, but I really don't see how I can help.
Oh, but you can help, sir. You see, Mother won't see me.
Oh?
She won't even have me in the same room with her. And she won't tell anyone why.
Well,
You could see her. You were there that night. Find out what's behind it all. Why she hates me so. Then we can begin to treat her.
Well,
oh, please don't say no. She's talked about you to the nurses. I don't think they really believe she knows such a famous man. Please do this for me, sir. I know she'd love to see you.
Would Helen really be so pleased to see me after all these years? We'd been art students together at London University way back in 1935. She was an attractive, vital girl, and naturally competition to take her out had been keen.
Can I have a drink, Vincent?
Certainly.
I want to talk to you.
Well, talk away.
Listen, Vincent. I'm going to get married.
You did say married?
I've thought about it, and it seems a good solution.
A solution to what? You're not serious.
Vincent.
Well, may I ask the name of the lucky man?
Frank Thomas.
Frank Thomas? Oh, well, now I know you're kidding.
No, I'm not kidding, Vincent. He asked me last night.
Well...
No, before you say anything else, listen to me. I've got no illusions about my talent.
So you're selling out, huh?
Cynically, but accurately put. I've lost interest, I'm afraid.
Helen, do you know what sort of a reputation this Frank Thomas has?
A lot of nonsense put about by his enemies. Nothing's ever been proved against him, just because he's rich and has got a lovely house in the country.
Yes, I've heard about Rykot Manor. Helen, you're not marrying a house, you know.
Oh, Vincent.
After that, my feelings towards Helen took a decidedly chilly turn. And though she asked me, I didn't go to the wedding. Instead, I returned to America and got on with my professional career, which, as it turned out, put her effectively out of my mind.
I do appreciate you coming to see Mother, Mr. Price.
It's all right, David. It's a pleasure.
Oh, I think we've not far to go now. Over the crest of the next hill. It's pretty country, isn't it?
Yes, but then I always find the English countryside captivating.
The house lies in its own grounds, just like Rykot. Do you remember the old home?
My only visit to the Thomases' home was some 15 years or so after that last night out with Helen. I was back in England to discuss a new movie when one day, totally out of the blue, I received a letter asking me to attend a Guy Fawkes firework party at Rykot Manor. At first I couldn't think who I could possibly know at such an exalted address. Then I realized that it must be Helen. Although we had not parted on the best of terms, my curiosity got the better of me. I badly wanted to know how things had worked out for her, so I decided to accept the invitation. I couldn't get away from town until late, which meant I arrived at the house after the other guests had finished supper. It was one of those deliciously crisp evenings peculiar to fall in England, so I paid off the taxi at the bottom of the drive and approached Rycott Manor across the lawns, the best way to see it. Fairy lamps had been strung along the trees in front of the terrace, and I could see the great bonfire waiting to be lit. Above it, as if surveying the scene, was the guy. It was tied to what appeared to be a plank, its head fastened back so that the straw wouldn't fall out. Silhouetted against the lamps, twinkling in the trees and the lights from the house, it looked uncannily lifelike. I even fancied that its eyes caught the light, reflecting it like those of a cat. It was obviously constructed with the loving care of an artist. Helen met me at the door.
Vincent! Vincent, how good to see you. Here, let me take your coat. I want to talk to you alone before we join the others. Frank is resting in his study, so I'll take you into the morning room.
How like Helen I thought to have a morning room.
Well, the world-famous film actor.
Oh,
I'm so pleased for you, Vincent.
Helen, let me look at you, Now, how have you been?
I read in the papers that you were here, so I thought, for old time's sake...
Helen.
Yes?
How have you been?
Do you want a truthful answer, or merely a polite one?
Is it so bad?
If you say I told you so, I'll send you packing at once.
But I told you nothing you didn't already know.
That makes it worse.
Well, go on, tell me.
I have everything material that I want. I go short of nothing. But there is no love in this house, Vincent, and it frightens me. Frank is too busy. If he's not running his offices in the city, he's running the estate down here. And he does that just as efficiently and just as ruthlessly.
Well, why have you stuck it out all these years?
Because I have a son, Vincent. You'll be meeting him presently. His name is David, and he's 14. He's all I live for now, Vincent.
David, And how does David get on with his father?
Truly, I don't know. David is hard to know, like his father. Sometimes I think he hates him.
Oh, my poor Helen.
Please don't pity me, Vincent. I've been holding on to my self-control for years, and it wouldn't take much to let go. David is a sensitive, intelligent boy, but their interests are totally different.
David takes after you. I fancy he has artistic leanings.
Yes, possibly. But why do you say that?
Well, my dear, I'm deducing that he built that guy I saw as I came here. It's a remarkable piece of work, you know. There's some haunting quality about it.
Thank you. He'll be pleased. He worked hard making it.
If your son becomes an artist, you won't have wasted your own talent, you know.
Thank you, Vincent. That was a very nice thing to say. I want to send David away to boarding school. I think it's important to get him away from his father's environment.
Oh?
You see, lately their relationship has deteriorated.
Oh, what caused that? Anything specific?
Well, there was a rather unfortunate incident about 2 weeks ago. 2 poachers were caught on the estate, a crime Frank won't tolerate. They were trapped in a copse, and Frank gave orders to smoke them out. David was there when they were brought out. You see, the men had stuck it out to the last possible moment, and they were so blackened and scorched that their features were unrecognizable. Most of their clothes had gone, and they just lay on the ground and writhed in agony. 2 died in hospital. It's touch and go whether the 3rd will recover.
Helen, my dear, that's inhuman. Didn't anyone make a complaint?
It was hushed up. After all, it wasn't Frank who was breaking the law. He was just protecting his property.
Helen.
And then there was the incident of the puppy.
What puppy?
Well, stupid, really.
But, Father...
My God, sir, don't be so namby-pamby. I sometimes wonder what I've spawned. A boy or a girl.
I can't see what's wrong in having a puppy. Lots of boys do.
You call that apology a puppy? Where are you going to keep it, In that shoebox? How long do you think it'll fit into that?
I don't intend to keep it here. I'm taking it to boarding school with me. That's what the box is for.
Oh, bloody well not, you know. What do you think the headmaster's going to say, Get rid of it before term time. Meanwhile, keep the damn thing out of my sight.
You see, Vincent, it was a sad little creature that David had found somewhere. Frank took an instant dislike to it. Probably because it was a mongrel and a stray. Probably the runt of the litter. He never could stand anything that wasn't perfect.
Mother, are you in there?
Oh, come in, darling.
Hello, Mother.
David, this is...
Oh, yes, I recognise him. Your picture was in last night's paper, sir. How do you do? I've seen all your films.
Hello, David.
David enjoys the macabre.
He was a good-looking boy, sturdy and well-built for his age. A good advertisement for a country upbringing. In fact, he was everything his father should have been proud of. I noticed that he was carrying the shoebox.
What's your next film going to be about?
I don't know, David. As a matter of fact, I don't know what my last one was about. How's your puppy? Is it in the box?
The box? It's empty. The puppy's dead, sir.
Oh, David.
I am sorry,
I found
David.
it this evening in one of those awful traps Father laid down for the poachers. It had been struggling for hours because both its hind legs were broken. So I had to put it out of its misery.
Oh, David.
You mean you did it yourself?
I had to. There was no one else about. Luckily, there was this big, flat stone.
Oh, David.
It didn't take long.
Luckily, Vincent, I've seen those traps. Frank had them put down after catching those poor devils. They're hideous and lethal. I've told him how dangerous they are, but he says it's the only way to stop them. The poachers, I mean.
I'm not at all familiar with English law, Helen, but surely... Well, he could be had up for assault or manslaughter if the worst happened.
Darling, I'm so sorry about the puppy.
It's all right, Mother. Father wouldn't have let me keep it anyhow. I've got over it now. Oh, by the way, I used old Carter's wheelbarrow to carry out the guy.
Yes, I saw the guy as I came in. It looks splendid.
I made it myself. It's wearing one of Father's old suits.
Why don't you go out and light the bonfire? Mr. Price and I will join you presently. Take the other guests out onto the veranda, and then ask Carter to light a few of the rockets. We'll keep the set pieces till later.
Oh, Mother, I nearly forgot. Father has gone.
Gone? In the
He had a phone call right after supper. Something urgent at the office. He left a short while ago.
Without a word. How like him. Now I'll have to apologize to everyone.
I don't think he'll be missed.
That will do, David. Now run along.
Yes, Mother. See you later, Mr. Price.
Yes, David.
Frank really is the limit. The trouble is he's trying to do too much.
And I'm sure he thrives on it.
No, he was taken quite ill at supper.
Oh.
He's been sleeping badly, too. The doctor gave him some pills, but they don't seem to agree with him. If anything, he's more nervy and erratic than ever. The dislike he took to David's puppy was completely irrational.
It's David I'm sorry for, Helen.
Yes. Poor David.
Oh, look, they're starting the fireworks and lighting the fire. Shall we go out on the terrace? Oh, by the way, will you be warm enough without a coat?
Yes, thank you. Oh, look. They've lit the bonfire.
Yes. I've always loved this festival. There it is. It's all on fire now. Oh.
You were right about the guy. It does look so real. That's strange.
What?
Do you smell anything odd?
No, I don't think so. I never had a chance to talk to Helen alone again that night. Suddenly I realized that it was much later than I thought, and I would have to dash if I were to catch the last train. For some reason, I had no wish to stay in that house, and Helen was nowhere to be seen. I did see David, though, and felt that if I sent my goodbyes through him, I could drop Helen a line the next day. Well, I never did write. An unpardonable lapse of good manners, which to this day I've never been able to explain. David stood watching the bonfire, utterly absorbed in the destruction of his handiwork. The flames licked round the straw-covered hands and the feet of the guy. He appeared to gain great satisfaction when the plank cracked and splintered, and the weird figure it had been supporting slid slowly into the Holocaust below.
There goes the guy, sir. See how well it burns? I soaked it in paraffin to make sure. Lucky the rain held off tonight, isn't it, sir?
You're really enjoying it, aren't you, David? You'll have to make a bigger one next year.
Oh, next year. Won't be at all the same, sir.
As I waited for the station taxi to arrive, I stood watching the spectacle. Helen had been right. There was an acrid tang in the air, which I put down to the wood smoke, possibly mixed with the approach of a November fog. There's always something splendid and grand about the slow burning of a great fire. I couldn't help comparing it with the fires used for the burning of witches and heretics at the stake, for after all, symbolically, that is what it was. The laughing guests standing round watching seemed to lose their identity and assume other roles. They became judges, officers of the Inquisition, gleefully satisfied as their tortured victims turned and twisted and shriveled in the purging flames. I guess that's what being an actor does for you.
The sanatorium. It's just here on the right. Wake up, sir. We're nearly there.
Oh, I wasn't asleep, David. What became of your father?
My father? Oh, didn't I tell you?
No.
We never saw him again after that night he left Mother. There were rumors that he had some girlfriend waiting for him in London. Mother had to carry on alone.
Weren't inquiries made? Didn't you try to trace him?
Trace him? Do you think we wanted him back? I loathed and detested the ground he walked on. So did Mother. His going was the best thing that ever happened to us. He was a brute when he was here, and I hope to God he's dead now. He is, as far as I'm concerned. Oh, we're here.
I followed him into the large house. I felt unhappy and apprehensive. I still couldn't decide if I were right to come. My qualms grew as we approached Helen's room. She was sitting on the bed, huddled and emaciated, her hair gray and lank. For a moment I thought there must have been some mistake. This couldn't be Helen. Not the Helen I'd known as a student, nor indeed the hostess of Rykot Manor. Why had it come to this?
Vincent?
Hello, Helen.
Is it really you? It's been so long.
10 years, Helen.
You were right, Vincent, weren't you? You told me not to marry Frank.
You must forget it and try to get well.
I will never get well.
Now, Helen, the doctor says you're much better. David is outside. Won't you see your son?
I have no son.
Tell me what's wrong. Won't you let me help you?
You can't help me. No one can.
Well, then just see David. I'll fetch him for you.
No, I won't see anyone. No.
It's all right, Mrs. Thomas. Now, calm down. Nobody's forcing you to do anything.
Should I leave?
No, please don't go. Don't leave me.
Just a few moments then, sir.
Do you remember that night, Vincent? And that smell, that dreadful smell?
Helen, I can't smell anything.
It's all right, sir. It's one of her fantasies.
And the pills. Has anybody looked for the sleeping pill?
Helen, my dear, please be quiet. If I could only find out what's troubling you.
Oh, Vincent, I looked for you, but you're gone. Why did you go off and leave me? You never even said goodbye. You never wrote, not a word.
Helen, I know, I really...
It doesn't matter, not anymore. Nothing matters now. I have something to tell you, Vincent.
Yes.
I'm going to marry Frank Thomas. He's rich and he's got a lovely house.
Stop it, Helen.
No, that's not it. There's something I must remember. I must tell you, Vincent. I've got all I want, but there's no love in this house, and it frightens me.
Oh, my dear,
I've got a wonderful son, Vincent. His name is David. And he hates his father.
Helen...
I'm all right, Vincent. Don't pity me, please. Don't pity me. Listen, Vincent. Listen to me. There isn't much time. I'm all right. I must tell you. That night, while it's in my mind, Frank was taken ill after supper. David had been sitting next to his father, on his right, next to the wine glass.
What are you saying, Helen?
Don't you understand, Vincent? I can't say any more. Oh, God, what's the use? What's the use?
Oh, please, Helen, don't. Please.
Please go, Vincent. I'm tired. So tired.
David, your mother is obsessed with that night, the night your father walked out on her.
There's something I didn't tell you.
Oh.
I looked up part of our family records. There's insanity there. Mother's illness appears to be hereditary.
But does that make it incurable?
Well, not necessarily. This is what I want to research. Nobody really knows how to define hereditary insanity. Perhaps when I'm qualified, I'll be able to help.
2 years later, Helen was dead, still without being reconciled to her son. The last time I saw David was at her funeral. Of course, I followed his career with interest, knighted at 35 and now dead at 37. Back in my flat, I sat in front of the fire. The flames danced in front of my eyes, and my fireplace assumed the shape of a bonfire. Without any prompting from me, the string of clues that I possessed, as yet unconnected, flashed through my mind. Whether they were clues to what really happened or might have happened, I could not tell. But they didn't make a pretty story.
David was there when the poachers were brought out dead. Burnt, blackened and scorched.
Both the puppy's hind legs were broken. It had been struggling for hours.
I've seen those traps. They're hideous and lethal.
The shoebox, it's empty. Empty.
It can't be. I can't believe it.
Frank was taken ill at supper. David was sitting next to him, next to the wine glass. Nobody looked for the sleeping pills.
By the way, I used old Carter's wheelbarrow. I made the guy myself. Myself.
That boy? No, it's just not possible.
I've got a wonderful son. He hates his father.
See how well it burns? I poured some paraffin to make sure.
That dreadful smell. Don't you understand, Vincent? Don't you? Don't you?
Could it really have happened like that? A boy brooding on his father's cruelty, his hand poised over a wine glass, substituting the original guy, stuffing straw into the sleeves and trouser ends, a sturdy and well-built boy who could drag the body of a man into a wheelbarrow, tie it to a plank, easy enough. I remembered how uncannily lifelike the guy had seemed, and the roasting of human flesh would have left an acrid, sour smell, wouldn't it? I remembered what David had said in the car. Hadn't he told me himself that his mother's illness was hereditary? And if it was hereditary, why should it stop there? As I picked up the newspaper that had fallen to the floor, the last line of the article caught my eye. Found inexplicably amongst the dead man's papers was an old shoebox full of some charred and blackened substance, which was later identified as human flesh and bone. Well, that's the story. Call me fanciful, and you may be right. After all, I have no proof. But one thing's for sure. It'll be a long time before I accept another invitation to a bonfire party for Guy Fawkes night.
That was Vincent Price, bringing you The Price of Fear. Co-starring in Guy Fawkes Night was Adrian Corrie, with Alexander John, Derek Lambden, and Peter Craze. Guy Fawkes Night was first recounted and dramatized by Richard Davis, and produced by John Dias.
That's our show for tonight. I want to thank you all for listening. And remember, you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/terror1970, or you can find me on Instagram at Radio Show Nerd, or on Blueskye at Terror Radio. I also have a YouTube channel. Please check it out. Like and subscribe, share the videos. It will be highly appreciated. Again, this is your host, Keith, better known as the Radio Show Nerd, signing off.